medical condition when I was growing up called enuresis. What enuresis is I used to pee in the bed. Yeah, growing up, my mom would tell me that and my brothers, I'll put them out there for a little bit, that we were going to we would float out the room. We were younger, much younger, and so I used to what some of my Caucasian family would call bed. You wet the bed. Oh, you wet the bed. And we in Valley High, we said you peed the bed, and doctors call it enuresis, and yeah, never thought I'd have this conversation with anyone, but I'm having it now because I grew up dealing with enuresis. Because I have a good word for it now, I can use it. Enuresis. I was a bedwetter. Younger, my mom would have me not drink after a certain time because of, 5, 6, 7. Have me not drink after a certain time because I would commit enuresis. I would wet the bed, and so really embarrassing. But as a little kid, you pee in the bed, you get up, your mom puts you in the tub, and you go about your business. You don't even consider that you're tearing up your mattress because every night you're just soaking and soaking and soaking your mattress almost every night, and you don't realize it. And so I dealt with it as a child and as a younger kid, and then at around about, I guess, like 10 or 11, 9, 10 or 11, it began to subside. And growing up, I realized that now I know that a lot of young boys and girls have experienced that and have gone through that. It's like it's a known secret that people deal with it. And so I dealt with it, and everybody doesn't deal with it. A little embarrassing, but at 44, how much more embarrassed can I get about my own life? So dealt with enuresis and wetting the bed, peeing in the bed. And let me go this way for a moment. You never know how people are affected based upon your decisions. Okay? Sometimes we think that we're making the best decision, and but we really don't realize how others are affected by the decisions that we think are good. Specifically, when we make decisions that involve people and we don't have the conversation with them, we just make a decision for them because we think it's the best decision that anybody should make because we're in charge, we're in control, we know what's best, we know how things should go, we know what people should do, we know what people should say, and this is the best way to go because I'm the smartest one in the room. We make these decisions for people without having a good consideration of how they feel or how the decisions that we're making for them is affecting them. Our only concern is what we believe the outcome will be. Yeah, I want you to let that dry in on you as I dry in on my bedwetting. Let that dry in on you. We make the best decisions that we think are the best for people because we believe that we know the greater or the best outcome, but we don't even involve them into the decisions that we make. And therefore, we don't really know how it affects them. And then when it affects them, then we get upset with them because of how the decision made them feel and what they did as a result of it, because we don't know, because we don't believe that our decision making for them has affected them that way. We feel like we did what's best and what we did was the best thing and all good. Not realizing that even though sometimes it's the best decision, it can still have an adverse effect on people. Best decision can still have an adverse effect on people. The best decision can still have an adverse effect on people. And so let me back that thing up like Juvenile. That's what happened with me. I was a serial person who dealt with enuresis. in my primary years. But then at a point in my life, I moved from one location to another location. My father decided it was best that I move in with him, and I told this story the other day. He thought it was best that I move in with him, and so he took me from my mother's house and had me live with him. His idea was that it was best for me to be with my father, and he moved me in with him against my wishes, without having a good conversation about it, just by telling me this what was going to happen, without my feelings being involved. And I know I was younger, and I know people feel like it doesn't matter, but I'm here to tell you it does matter. I know people say don't listen to kids and you don't care what they think, but you should listen to them because they become adults. And the very thing that you did to them as children, they become adults with your great ideas. So I was against going, and especially the way it happened. I didn't want to go. He didn't ask me to go. He told me I was going, and then barred me, as it were, from the others, from my mom and my sisters and my other two brothers. And I had stopped wetting the bed, or I stopped peeing in the bed. And then when I moved in with him, where I'll say I was, people don't want to hear it, but I was kidnapped in broad daylight. And even people that it was better for you. But there's a way that you can do it. The means don't always justify the end. And so it was better for me, but it wasn't the best way, the best practice. And so I got there and I started peeing in the bed again. And I became a serial bedwetter. And by now, I was 12 going on 13. Peeing in the bed was cool when I was 6, 7, 8. But now I'm 12 and 13 and I like girls. And girls like me too. And I'm a serial bedwetter. Because I had a traumatic experience from being moved from one place to another place. And because it was, you move in with your father because a son needs his father. Yeah, and then father goes to conquer the world, and so father leaves son with his new wife, or fairly new. They have been married for a few years by then. This fairly new wife, a couple years I should say. And without realizing the effect that it's having, and then so what I would do is now I'm 12 and 13 and I'm 14 and I'm in high school, and I'm still, not every night, but every now and then, I am peeing in the bed. I'm committing the act of enuresis. And it's a problem now because it's still happening as a result of the traumatic experience of being taken from one place, placed in another place, being taken from one space, placed in another space, even though overall it could have been good or it was good. It wasn't turning out as good as it looked on the outside. And then because of my heart and because of how it felt, I can still clearly understand. I know some people would say, oh, you got to be mindful and you got to be careful, but there's other people that are affected by other people's decisions, and they've made the best decision. They just didn't make it the right way. And a great decision, but a great decision the wrong way. And so I would pee in the bed. Sounds funny because I never thought I'd talk about this to anybody. And I wake up as soon as I did. And when I first moved there, I was in a room by myself on the top bunk. There were 3 bunk beds. So when my brothers would come over every now and then they would have a space to live in. But I'd be in the room by myself, and I'd wake up and I would jar out of my sleep because I could feel it happening, and I'd be trying to wake myself up, and I could feel it coming, and I would be trying to wake myself up. And then by the time I finished urinating on myself, I would wake up and I'd be just far gone, and I'd jump up, and at first I would just go in the bathroom, just kind of wash off and change my clothes and try to hide it and just cover the bed, and then go and get in one of my brother's beds. I'd wipe up and change my clothes and put them in dirty clothes, and naturally you'd find out because you walk room and smell like pee. It was easy to find out you walk room and you smell like pee. That wasn't difficult for it to happen. You walk room, smell like pee. Hold on. Hello? Yeah. What won't connect to your phone anymore? Kylie, I'm working. Is that what you're calling me for? I gotta go. I'm working. We'll deal with that when I get home. We'll deal with that when we'll figure out when I get home. Love you too. Bye. This is what happens when you have kids, and woo. So I'd get up and I would wash myself, and I'd clean myself off. I couldn't get in the shower because it would be too loud and I didn't want anyone to know. And then later on, but they would always find out what happened, that I peed in the bed. And at first, it wasn't a big deal. It was okay. My dad's wife, she'd be like, it's okay. No, it's okay. Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But my dad wasn't like, it's okay. He'd be like, you should pee in the bed, and just go in on me. Just go hard on me. I didn't know why I was doing it. I didn't know why. I didn't know it was the traumatic experience of my life that was causing me to revert backwards. Then after my brothers come in, I'm trying not to. I'm doing everything in my power. I'm not drinking at night, doing all these things, and it would happen. And so then I would switch it up because I couldn't jump in the mouse's bed. So what I would do is I get up and I go in the bathroom, I clean off, I take my sheets off the bed, and I go upstairs and I put them in the washing machine, and I wash them. And I couldn't shower because it would make too much noise. And I try to wash off, and in the morning I try to make up a reason why I need to get in the shower, because I would always get caught because. And by then, he and his wife, they begin to fuss at me about something I had no control over. And I began to get fussed at and yelled at about something, berated about something I didn't have much control. I didn't have any control over because I didn't know why it was happening. I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to figure out. Now I'm 14, almost 15, and I'm still peeing in the bed. And I didn't know why. I couldn't understand why that it was happening to me, and why me of all people. Why am I peeing in the bed at 4? I'm getting ready to be 15 now. And somewhere around there, I start asking God to help me because I don't want to pee in the bed no more. I didn't want to. And slowly but surely, it disappeared and it went away. And I realized around that time is when I began to become hardened to certain things and not allow certain things to get to me. Right around then is when trouble came, and it was trouble for everybody. All of a sudden, I didn't care anymore. And I wasn't affected by certain things anymore. And I was like, oh, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's going to go down, it's going to go down. I don't even care no more. And I stopped. But it was all as a result of, what was going on and how things happened. Because someone was making a decision and they not considering how their decision was affecting someone else. They were making a decision for me, not considering how it was affecting me, without checking in on me. And then when my body and my heart and my mind responds to the decisions that's made, it's just like, oh well. And there's maybe someone who's listening or who's watching or who's like, I've been responding based upon stuff, and it wasn't. I didn't do it on purpose. I've just been responding. And I'm not saying that everybody gets a pass for responding in certain ways and doing things that you should not do and acting in ways that you should not act. But sometimes some people have to take accountability and responsibility and not wash it off and say, well, you went to college. Well, look at you now. Look at you now. You made it. Look at you. So sometimes we make the end justify the means when the means does not justify the end. If you tortured me, but I went to college, you can't say, well, I used to beat you, but you ended up in college, because I would have ended up in college still, but you didn't have to beat me there. You didn't have to steal me. You didn't have to take me. You don't have to lie to me. There could have been a better way. And yes. Do we always blame people? Because sometimes, no, they had no choice but to do what they did because they knew no other way. But you still got to take responsibility. And I still have to take responsibility, because there are certain things in my life that I've done that wasn't right. And it was as a result of my trauma, but it was still wrong. And I can't keep saying, well, my traumatic experiences. No, I have to take accountability and responsibility and not take a pass because I'm responding based upon things that happened to me. I still have to be responsible. I still got to grow up, even though I do respond based upon traumas or even triumphs. Because there's some things about me that I respond in where when problems happen, I don't go crazy. I get real calm. I can credit that to my trauma too. I get real calm. I get extra calm when things go haywire and everybody else is going crazy. I get super calm. Because I learned, what's the point of going crazy? Just chill out, man. Don't even lose it. Don't blow it. Don't blow your opportunity. But I learned that as a result of my trauma and my pain too. But I also learned that as a result of you don't let people see you sweat. I also learned that as a result of not allowing things to control you. You control your world. It wasn't all bad. But I got to take responsibility, and I want to, and because many times what we do is we give those who come before us, well, they didn't know any better, and there was, yeah, but I am too, but everyone has to take responsibility, and I want to speak to someone out there. Yes, you take responsibility, but you have the ability and the right to hold those accountable. I remember I was watching a clip of Love and Hip Hop when I think it was some rap, I can't call his name, I see his face right now, but it was him and his mom. And he was like, Mom, it wasn't Boosie. He was like, Mom, you raised me in the whorehouse. And what happened as that? And she kept trying to justify it, saying, well, I had no other choice. And he was like, no, actually, you did have another choice. You could have done some things differently. You could have done some things differently. And I want everybody to start being responsible and being honest. You could have done things differently. It's just like me. I have to be responsible and honest. I could have done things differently at certain points in my life. I just didn't. I responded based upon trauma, even though I could have responded differently. I didn't have to have two girlfriends that went to the same church that didn't talk to each other because I was trying to hide and I was trying to fight another situation. I did not have to have relationships and hold on to the relationship so I could stay out of something that wasn't good for me. I could have made a decision. You know what? Let me not break them because I'm broken. But I made a decision to hurt other people because I was hurting, put them in hurting situations. I knew very clearly I didn't have to, but I chose to, knowing I wasn't good for that relationship. And I chose to anyhow. But I got to be responsible for that. I can't say, oh, well, because of this certain situation and this person, and I was running from this. And so I latched on to you. No, I should have just told you what I was doing and gave you the option. So I got to be responsible. And so I used to pee in the bed. I don't pee in the bed anymore. When I told my sister, she was like, well, your wife, she gonna have to wear she needs to wear some waders. And y'all need a rubber mattress. That was years ago. But that's what really happened to me as a result of what happened to me. And I have to be responsible now. So if I wake up one day and I just start peeing in the bed now, I can't just sit back and be like, well, remember when I was younger. No, I have to look at my life now and be accountable. So I guess today this is all about accountability and peeing in the bed. I gotta go. Yardley Griffin, Yardley Talks. If you enjoyed what you saw and you like this content, you like this platform, do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, Yardley Griffin TV. Subscribe to our TikTok, Yardley Griffin TV. Follow our Facebook, Yardley Griffin. You can even send the Cashapp Yardley Griffin. Let's get this thing in. Let's subscribe. Let's build. Let's create more content together so we can help people. We can bless people. We can change lives. And we can do this thing. Yardley Talks. As always, I gotta go. Peace.